Good morning, Shelley. Happy Friday. You catch me running errands and doing work and whatnot. Anyway, this is what I've been up to this week. Thanks to the glorious weather this week, it's been very easy to go back to work in the countryside walking all the dogs. What can you see, Betty? Hey? Come on! Good girl. And we've had quite a lot of fun playing a new game called Chicken Scream, and particularly watching Mum do it. We also had some fun last weekend getting back to barn dancing for the congregation in Laos.
Take a step to the right, say cheerio, and on you go. Here we go.
And because it was the memorial, the pioneer meeting and the assembly this week, Amelia dragged me dress shopping. Look how many clothes we've tried on. Yeah, how many times have you tried that dress on? Happy Friday, Shelley. I hope you're well. I've got an idea for a challenge for next week's video, but I haven't had really time to do it this week. So I thought I'd talk to you about something that I have talked a little bit about on this channel before, but I haven't not as sort of dedicated a video to it, and that is musicals. You've got very similar taste in music to me. You're probably not, well, and you say probably not, you are not as much of a nerd about theatre and musicals as I am, though you do like a good musical and theatre production, I know that. So I'd try and share with you some of my all-time favourite soundtracks. I actually put a lot of thought into this. I sat and I wrote down all the musicals that I have soundtrack to, at least in part or whole, that I've seen or heard of, and I filled the page with, how many? I counted it earlier, where was it? 97 different musicals that I wrote down, and then I ran out of paper. And when it came to doing a sort of top 10 of my favourites, it was pretty hard to narrow it down, as I'm sure you can imagine. Picked my 10, and this is it. Hopefully I've done it in such a way that that if you listen to all 10 soundtracks back to back, you would very much get an idea of the kind of person I am and get inside my head a little bit more. If you've not heard of these musicals and you haven't heard of these soundtracks and you want to check them out, I spent a lot of time looking at all the links to the videos and to the soundtracks and putting them in the description so that you can check them out. So please do, if you're watching this and you're interested in any of these musicals that I'm talking about or these soundtracks and you want to check them out in the description box. Thank you. So we'll get straight into it, I think, with number 10, which is called In the Heights, and it's written by a man called Lin-Manuel Miranda, which you know who that is, Shelley, because I'm constantly going on about him. He has also written another one of my all-time favourite musicals in this list, but we'll get to that later. Based on the neighbourhood that Lin-Manuel Miranda actually grew up in, it's in Washington Heights in New York City. A very Latino-based community, and the music is very much reflected in that. The lyrics do flip between Spanish and English quite quickly, and by the time you finish the soundtrack, you would wish that you were a Latino. I know I do. Number 9 is a little bit of a cheat because it's technically 2 musicals that I've put in this spot, but I couldn't separate them, and they are technically the same. They are a sequel to each other, so I had to put them both in the same spot, and that is Phantom of the Opera / Phantom Love Never Dies. Phantom of the Opera, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. It's a very famous musical, people know it. Of course, is opera, and it's incredibly emotive and thematic and powerful music. Sequel, Phantom Love Never Dies, which not as many people have heard of. It really is a bit of a fan fiction. For anybody who really wanted the Phantom and Christine to end up together at the end of Phantom of the Opera, rather than Christine and Raoul, will like Love Never Dies. I think the thing that makes this musical one of my all-time favourites is this one song in particular, and I've put the link in the description to the music video for that song, because that song has probably had the most emotional impact on me than any other song in a musical. Number 8 is a fantastic musical, and again a completely different genre of music. We've had sort of Latina, salsa music, rap music within the Heights. We've had opera with Phantom of the Opera, and now we're going for Motown, soul and R&B, and it is Dreamgirls. If you've never seen the movie version of the musical, you definitely need to check it out. It's a fantastic movie. Brilliant soundtrack. There isn't a song on this soundtrack that I don't absolutely love. This is definitely a soundtrack that is you can sing along to and belt out. Number 7 is my only Disney musical that I allowed myself to have, and I think you can guess which one it was. It's Beauty and the Beast. Like a lot of these musicals, when I put the links down in the description, I put my definitive version of that soundtrack in the description, because a lot of these musicals have had Broadway and West End productions, or they've had movie productions or TV versions, or whatever, different versions of the same soundtrack sung by different people. With Beauty and the Beast, they've had the animated version, they had the anniversary animated version, they've had the stage show, they've had the new movie version, and they've all had different soundtracks. I couldn't choose between the two versions that I've put below, and that is the stage show version and this latest movie version. The reason I picked them over the animated version is the animated version never had a song for the Beast. That was always a bit of an oversight, I felt. Both the stage version and the latest movie version have some incredible, beautiful songs for the Beast.
Oh, I could have loved her, and that she'd set me free. But it's not to be if I can't love her. Let the world
going a different way again with my number 6 choice, and quite a sad turn I'm taking us down now, and that is Les Miserables. Very famous songs, of course, I Dreamed a Dream, Bring Him Home. I have seen the movie version a few times actually, and I did like it, but I was a little bit disappointed because some of the actors, Russell Crowe, couldn't sing, and so they did butcher some of the incredible songs, which was a little bit disappointing. I've listened to the original version as well, but my definitive version is the version I've put in the description, and that is the 25th anniversary concert of Les Mis.
You would live 100 years if I could show you how I won't desert you now.
The rain can't hurt me now. This rain will wash away what's past, and you will keep me safe, and you will keep me close. I'll sleep in your embrace at last.
have we got next? I'm slowly sinking down the bed. Number 5 is Wicked. And it is proper Wicked. It's the prequel, it's sort of a prequel of sorts to The Wizard of Oz. It's sort of all the characters that are living in Oz before how they got to where they were before Dorothy arrives. My favourite song though is probably got to be the finale song, it's called For Good, and it's a song all about friendship and the people that you meet and how the relationships you have through your life change you as a person.
It well may be that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, oh, you have rewritten mine by being my friend.
Number 4 is a musical that I've actually been and seen with you in January. It's one that I've been, as I say, on my list to go and see for years, and it surpassed my expectations immensely, and that is Matilda the musical. Oh, I love that musical so much. It's based on Roald Dahl's book of Matilda. Such a brilliant soundtrack written by the comedian Tim Minchin. I would definitely go and see that show again. Number 3 is a little bit of an odd choice, but it is my number 3 all-time favourite musical soundtrack, and it's not the soundtrack to a stage musical, not even a movie musical, not even a TV musical. It is the soundtrack to a web series called Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog. Never heard of it, you definitely have to see it. I've put the links to it in the description. It's 3 episodes, each one I think is about 15 minutes long, so it works out at about 45 minutes altogether to watch the whole thing. It's created by Joss Whedon, who you may or may not know wrote and directed The Avengers. It's basically the story of Dr. Horrible versus Captain Hammer for this girl's love and affection. At the same time, he's trying to prove himself as the baddest villain of all time.
Laundry day, see you there, under things, tumbling. Wanna say, love your hair, here I go, mumbling. With my freeze ray I will stop the world. With my freeze ray I will find the time to find the words to.
Number 2 it was so close to being my number 1, but it's just been pipped to the post, and it's a musical that I've only really sort of has come into my life very recently. It's basically about a boy called Evan Hansen, who's a 17-year-old who, like a lot of people his age and a lot of people that I know, including myself, who suffer from social anxiety, depression and anxiety in different forms. Even suicidal inclinations and thoughts. Anyone who's ever felt a little bit out of place, a little bit awkward, a little bit who's ever felt down about themselves, it's for you, and it's very much a story of recovery and how there is hope when everything feels hopeless. To remind yourself that there is hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that it is a genuinely beautiful soundtrack.
On the outside, always looking in, will I ever be more than I've always been? Cause I'm tapping on the glass, waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass, waving through a window.
finally, we've come down to our number one spot. Shelley, I think you know what my number one is, but for anyone who is left unaware, my number one spot, it goes to Hamilton. Can't gush about this musical enough. Again, it's one of those soundtracks that there isn't a song on that soundtrack that I don't love. It is sung from beginning to end, which is quite big of a bonus if you just have the soundtrack, because if you listen to the soundtrack from beginning to end, you get the entire story. It is the true story of one of the founding fathers of America. It's so cleverly put together. Each character has their own musical style according to their personality, which is brilliant. Because Lin-Manuel Miranda is a huge musical nerd himself, there's a lot of references to other musicals in the lyrics, like little nods. People who are big fans of other musicals, they will notice. Also, he's a huge hip-hop and R&B fan, so there's a lot of references to hip-hop songs and rap songs from the 80s and 90s. And artists that he really admires. It's definitely a multi-listen soundtrack. You have to listen to it more than one time because you get something different out of it every time you listen to it.
Rise up, it's time to take a shot. Rise up, it's time to take a shot. Rise up, it's time to take a shot. Rise up, take a shot. It's time to take a shot. Take a shot. And I'm not throwing away my shots.
There you go, that is my top 10. I hope you learned a little bit about me from that, and hopefully you'll go and check out some of these soundtracks. If it didn't bore you too much of me geeking out on you, the sun is literally setting, that is how long I've been talking. I'd be quite interested to see, Shelley, what your top 10 either musicals or just soundtracks are, maybe even albums. It's the music that inspires you and sort of defines you the most. I hope you have a fantastic week and a fantastic assembly this weekend, and I will see you next Friday.